Hey there friends, Nibs again. Out in the garage tonight doing a little bit of goofing around, a little bit of tinkering. You guys saw this in the mail call the other day, and I really wanted to see if I could make some improvements on it. It was shooting pretty good, but the trigger was pretty woeful, and I just wanted to give it a once over and make sure there wasn't anything else that needed attention inside of it. But I really didn't find anything wrong with, I couldn't see anything wrong with how the trigger was put together, but I put it back together the same way it came apart. I just cleaned everything up, but the trigger is acting night and day difference. I actually did a couple of, I think 4 trigger pulls, and I put a picture right here of my scale. It's tipping the scales now at just under 3 pounds, so it's still not a match grade trigger or anything like that, but just that it's a lot better than it was. I'm guessing it was probably around 6 or 7 pounds, or maybe even more than that. But the thing is to see how far back it is. It usually starts way up in the front, and it was taking me to pull all the way back there before it would trip. And now once it trips, it falls back there, but it only takes a small amount of movement to actually get it to trip. So I'm not I'm not sure exactly what I did to change that and make it right, but so this is the Predom Lucznik, and doing a little bit more research, the Lucznik is the name of the company, and they're actually a fairly large arms manufacturer, apparently in Poland, for quite a while. But they decided to make this, the Predom is the model, and they decided to make this is a copy basically of the Walther LP53, which is came out in 1953. That was Walther's first attempt at an air pistol, I guess, from what I read. But this particular one was made in 1976. But Lucznik was making these and I hope I'm pronouncing that even close. I'm definitely no Polish scholar, so I definitely don't know if I'm saying that right, but I'm just pronouncing it like it looks. So, but Lucznik made these, from what I read, from the 70s into the 80s. One other interesting thing about this before we start shooting is, and I showed you guys this in the mail call video, but approximately, I don't know about that much of the barrel is actually an open tube, very much larger diameter than the 177, and then from about there back is rifled. Very interesting design, and a couple of schools of thought. Maybe they came with a cocking rod that you would put in the end there and cock down, or they just did that to give you a little bit of extra leverage, because I can see if you had to cock it from right there, it would be nearly impossible. But from out here on the end of the barrel, it actually isn't too bad. It folds right down. It does take a good bit of force, more than most of my pistols, air pistols anyway, but I think that's just the geometry of how this thing actually pushes that spring down instead of back. So if you watch, see the trigger guard is actually dropping down. That is the cocking mechanism pushing the spring down inside of the handle, and it cocks, and there's a sear in there. And that's how this works. That most of them have the spring, and it's a long tube up top and pretty clunky looking, but this is a lot sleeker looking. But so I had this apart, and it's not impossible to take them apart and get them back together, but fair warning, that is not for the faint of heart. So if you are at all have any doubts about your mechanical skills, I would recommend not taking this apart on your own. It was a challenge to get back together. There's some 2 or 3 springs that have to sit in the same spot at the exact same time and then put a pin in. Yeah, that was 8 or 10 attempts before I got that to go together. And then there's a couple others that are actually kind of wonky too. But it's back together. It's shooting really good. I haven't shot at a target since I put it back together yet. I did go across the chronograph, and I'll put that page up here right now. Just let you see the numbers. Did have one low number in there, which kind of skewed my average. I thought about throwing that out just because it really didn't represent the rest of the readings there, and I think it was just I did have the piston out, so it hasn't fully reseated itself into the chamber there, but it's averaging about 350 feet per second, which is about what I've read they do and about what I expected they would do. So I'm going to test them with a couple of groups here. We'll use the RWS basics first. We'll do a 5-shot group with those, and then I've got some of my new favorites out here, these rifle cutters. They're a little bit heavier than these, so we'll give them a little light pellet and a little heavy pellet and see which one it likes better. Almost looks like that one might have been keyholing. I don't know, sometimes these things just tear out, but not a bad shot though. I flinched that one down. I'd shot it a bunch before I took it apart, and I was starting to get used to that crummy trigger, and now I got to get used to this better trigger. So yeah, that second one was just a flinch down, but I think I zeroed this thing when I was shooting yesterday with some 8-grain pellets, so these lighter ones I kind of figured might go up a little bit. Yeah, well, the groups, other than that one flyer that I admittedly flinched down, the group is looking pretty nice. So yeah, not a bad little offhand group there. This gun's going to be fun to do some head-to-head challenges with other springers and other pistols in general. Seems to be a pretty accurate gun. I just got to get her zeroed and I couldn't see where it hit. It was off to the far left of the target here. Hopefully this gun doesn't hate these pellets. Certainly doesn't. Yeah, I don't know. I am still a heavier trigger. It's not, like I said, it's not. It's definitely a lot better. I'll throw that first one out and discount that one. I think that was probably just me. That one, the first one was definitely just me. I'll pull out an extra one and that was a little high and left, but still close to the rest of the group. So this one's got some funny because the spring is shooting up, so it's a little bit funny feeling as far as the recoil goes. All right, that one right into the same group of the other three there. But anyway, there you go. So I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if it's got a. It almost feels like it's jumping up just a little bit in your hand, but there you go. This is the. It's a pretty cool gun. I definitely would like to get a Walther LP53 eventually, but I was told by a couple people that I really trust their opinion that if I've got this one and get it shooting good, the Walther LP3 is not going to do any better. So this will be a lot of fun. I can definitely tell. Just need to click. It is, if you can see, it is raised up pretty high, so probably just needs to go. I think it's up. It's actually screwed up as high as the sight will go. So just need to come down a few clicks, and I think we'll be right on the money. But there you go. Okay, hope you guys liked the video. If you did, like, share, and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell. You'll be notified when I do post up new videos. Till next time, have a great day.